Hello. Hey, it's the Power Up Brothers update. We're here in the morgue.
Yep.
Yes.
For now.
For now. Hopefully not for long.
For now. No. So no podcast this week. Sorry to everyone who watches.
I'm not
We're
sorry.
giving you a reprieve this week.
If this is your first video that you've ever watched on the channel, whoa, welcome.
Why?
Hey, why? Why this one?
Why'd
It
you
says
pick this
update.
one?
No,
What's
thank you
what's wrong
actually
with
just
you?
for watching. Yeah, so we've got big stuff coming, a lot of stuff in the works that we're working on, but that also meant we couldn't work on an episode. So we're doing an update here. Yeah, we don't want to spoil anything. We've got exciting stuff coming.
I'm going to spoil something real quick.
Quentin's gonna spoil
I'm going to
it.
spoil something. One of the things that's coming is me for you if you don't subscribe to our podcast because
Yeah.
I am broke and I need Patreon money. So you better
we don't
subscribe.
even have Patreon.
Subscribe
so,
to our
yeah.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Make us a Will someone out there please make us a Patreon so that people can subscribe to it?
I
a
don't think that'll
Patreon
work
link
out.
to your bank account.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah. So we thought we'd just do a little update as far as the fact that we've got stuff in the pipeline, not just the podcast. We've got other content. We really want to get to where you guys interact with us more. We're gonna have perks just associated with the channel. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have more fun. We also realized that nobody knows who we are. So
And I want to keep
I
it
was
that
gonna
way.
say, that is
that's
not a bad
some of them
thing.
prefer. I'm an open book.
I was going to say, I live a very private life and
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Quentin
You know.
lives at 113. Ty it goes first because he's old.
I am old.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I guess we'll do this. We'll do this.
Yeah, we're in case you guys don't
We're
know.
gonna do this in birth order.
If our names weren't obvious enough, the name of the podcast wasn't on. We are four brothers. We grew up playing video games. Quentin defected because he's a little baby and he's way younger than all of us, and we didn't care about him until about 4 years ago. And
So I
We
don't
just
play
found out
video
about him.
games.
no, he
And
doesn't
in
play
fact,
video
I'm
games.
here under protest.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm on the podcast. Honestly, the way that it happened was that Devin knocked on my door.
I did.
And he handed me a piece of paper that said Patreon money. And I said, sign me up. What's it about?
Where do I go?
Then he said video.
Fooled him.
Then
We
he-
haven't gotten a
we don't,
cent.
and then no Patreon.
We're massively in
no.
debt right
and
now.
then he told me that it was about video games.
Yeah, so start down there.
Start down
Introduce
there.
yourself so the
We're gonna do
people
birth
know
order.
who we are here.
I'm Ty. I'm the old one. My opinions are all out of date, and I can't keep up with current trends.
You're also the only one who knows what you're talking about when it comes to technology.
True.
Oh yeah, no that.
Yeah. The rest of us are clueless when it. So we'll be talking about emulation. It's all nonsense. Ty actually knows emulation, so there's a little Easter egg for you. Anytime you've heard emulation, it's all wrong unless Ty
Yeah.
said it.
I do all of the legally questionable things for the podcast.
Well, not all of them.
Right? No,
No,
definitely.
not all.
the legally questionable stuff related to video games.
Yes,
Ty
correct.
does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
How about this little
This
beauty?
slouching man here.
Oh, yes.
this bearded glory.
This question mark of a human being sitting here is Ethan, which I am. And I don't word my questions well.
That's a good introduction.
My
That's nice.
answers are worse somehow. I tend to be the existential thinker of the podcast
Yep.
in that I am deeply troubled by the cartoon games for kids, and I get washed over by the deep messages from our tour creators.
It's true. It's true.
Ethan is a little bit hard on himself, and that's why we all hate him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean,
listen,
it's honestly his worst trait.
Yeah.
it's one of my
Can't
very
stand
And that's a long list.
Can't
It's
stand it.
Yeah, it's one of my very bad traits in a long list of
It's
bad
a long
traits.
Yeah.
list of bad traits, buddy.
It's funny. I love that people who have just watched the pod have no clue that you're freakishly tall because you've always been
you're
sitting.
always- well, you're always sitting, yeah.
He's
Right.
always sitting, and you're slouching, so you look way shorter than the rest of us.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll all change
Very
soon.
used to adapting to the height of everyone around
right.
me.
Yes.
So
It's
yes,
survival
yeah, very much
adaptation.
so.
So, excuse me. I'm Devin. I'm the important one. No,
He
I'm
is.
Devin. I'm the youngest of the first lineage of
What does that even mean?
Dotsons.
That's
doesn't-
not a
that means
thing.
nothing.
Sir,
That's not a
sir,
thing. That means nothing.
can I finish my sentence?
Fine, babe.
No, I'm the resident Mario fan. I get teased a lot that that's all I play, but I actually,
He also plays
low-key-
Mario Party.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and on
Suck
Mario
it.
Kart and
Yeah.
Mario Tennis. Oh,
I
you don't want to forget about a
low-key
Mario
think-
alarm clock. You know, his house.
Do you
is
know I
decorated
canceled my
by-
pre-order when I found out Alarmo doesn't work if there's two people in the bed?
Let me tell you something. Nintendo is so virginal. It is almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that if I have someone in bed with me, the
Yes.
alarm clock will say, "Sorry,
Sorry.
too much
It just
sex
doesn't
in
wanna-
your
It
life."
doesn't want to wake you up, man.
It doesn't
Yeah.
want to wake
You're
you up.
tired, you
You're
need-
That's
tired.
terrible.
You need your rest. No,
Wow, okay.
that's not staying in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is. I'm
Welcome
just,
back.
No,
Welcome
I'm sorry.
back.
I'm
Welcome
sorry. I
back.
am in absolute shock. Is that true?
It's true. I don't know. Like, I just heard that it doesn't work very well if you have two people.
God, Nintendo.
And I am married.
Let's cut back. That was the
Cut
most
back.
insane- I'm sorry. I literally am reeling from hearing that.
No, yeah. So, I am the Mario fan. I think that I have the most diverse taste out of anyone on the
He doesn't.
podcast.
There's no
Don't
way
bet
that's
on it.
correct.
And
I'd say my taste is pretty diverse,
and
babe.
this episode is brought to you by the word delusion. No, yeah.
Oh, you meant in video games.
Yes.
Oh,
You're
Yeah.
still,
Oh.
you're still wrong.
Still
Yeah.
wrong, probably. No, I love Mario.
Wait.
That's it. That's all I have.
He
to
only
my
plays
name.
Mario.
I just play Mario games.
He just plays
That's
Mario.
it. Yeah. And then a full decade after the Dotson lineage began, along came this one.
Was it, yeah, it was, technically. Full
Full decade.
decade
A full
after
decade.
this got started.
Yep.
The only honest person at this table that's not in front of us right now, but
He
it's
just
a
lied to you about there being a table.
No,
Yeah.
it's
There's
a
no
met-
table.
hold up
There's
here a
never been a
second.
It's a
table.
metaphorical table.
Among my many bad qualities, dishonesty ain't one of them.
Yeah.
I'm the only honest one at this table. My name is Quentin, but that's subject to change. All right, keep
Oh.
that in mind. That's
Oh,
subject
no.
to change. You better watch out. All right. I know your mailing address, buddy. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't play video
Uh.
games. It's not really my hobby. But I played video games when I was younger. Occasionally, I play a video game because I want something to talk with my brothers about, because they play video games. So,
Or Cameron
Yeah.
forces you to.
or
Yeah,
my-
producer Cameron
Yes,
might,
or
yeah.
producer Cameron will sometimes say, "Play this game," and I say, "Okay," and then I begrudgingly play the game. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I like taking long walks on the beach,
Oh, Lord.
long walks in the forest. I like forest bathing. I once got in a fight with a cat in my apartment and was saved by a raccoon.
He just described getting attacked by Cameron, and Harrison saved him.
Yes, he
my
did.
roommate saved me. And so,
Yeah.
I live a pretty interesting life. I'm on narcotics right now, and I'm ready to mingle.
Yeah.
The thing that the four of us really well represent is the amount
Mhm.
of video games played and the type.
The-
So, like, if you
Yeah.
like
Sure. Yeah.
Ty over here plays a lot of video games, and he plays a lot of games on the more technical end of video gaming. And Devin over here plays a lot of the pick up and play style video games,
Yeah.
where there's social aspects, couch co-op stuff. I play less, but it's almost all exclusively indie games. And so
Yeah.
I'll bop
You're an
into like
indie
one of the
game
big
guy.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
big indie
Mhm.
game. And I'm out there looking for those new experiences, and then I'll take it to one of these guys, whichever one lines up more. And then Quentin plays the least amount. And so when you
They're all old.
they're all
Yeah.
old, or they are multiplier games that one of us are forcing them to play. And so what you get is when you watch the podcast, that's the thing that can be once you know it, you kind of see it a little more, is that their perspective all comes from those places of
Yeah.
amount played and type played.
And I will say, too, if you've ever watched a podcast and ours seems a little more like it has more defined structure, it's more like a radio show. I think that comes probably, it just kind of happened naturally from the fact that we grew up on stuff like that was more like, and like we sit around and just talk about video games constantly. So it's fun for us to have structure to kind of force ourselves into that, like, we don't go over 2 hours, we like stick to it, and like that's just what we have fun doing. It's not like we're we're trying to emulate somebody else. If it ends up being a lot like someone else, that's fine. But like, it's
Right.
just from like, we want to challenge ourselves to have fun within that kind of limitation.
Well, and this is a very interesting creative project because, I mean, we have talked about different creative projects that we would love to do as brothers.
Yeah, for years.
For years, and different things we've thrown around just for fun. But I didn't even know that a video podcast was something that existed. I didn't. I'm not joking when I say I didn't. When Devin
It's
told
true.
me, he
It's
said,
true.
he said, "Would you like to be a part of this podcast?" And I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. And he was like, so, you know, we're gonna get the camera, you know, and all this.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it'd be 12 different cameras, but he said we're gonna get a camera, and I was like, what do you mean a camera? You know,
You were
didn't know.
so confused.
I
You were
was
like,
so
why are we
confused.
filming?
Why are we filming?
And I
Aren't
was like-
podcasts? Isn't a podcast that thing where Alan Alda talks to Yo-Yo Ma, right? You know, and so I had
Which
no
I
idea.
think is also a video podcast.
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's
okay.
not. No,
Yeah, no.
Alan Alda. The only cameras Alan Alda knows about are ones that you have to crank to operate. Okay.
Just like,
And I love it. It's the best podcast, but that's the only one I really know.
yeah, yeah,
So it's been a fun experience,
It
like
has.
learning all the
yeah.
sort of ropes of this stuff.
We have 3.5 producers as we talk about it now. We have, and watch this, editing skills. We have producer Michael B, producer Cameron, producer Rachel, my lovely wife, and we also have sort of producer Harrison. We haven't asked him to be a producer yet. Harrison?
But we're
you're
pretty
watching
confident.
Harrison?
We're pretty confident.
this is a bit.
And we
You
also have
never know.
Kyle, who you will see every once
Yeah,
in a
you'll
while.
occasionally see Kyle. He's
not a-
already stormed the set once.
Yeah, one time that happened.
That
but
was great.
That was really a nightmare.
Yeah. In fact, you're going to see something in a future episode, and we're going to explain that we did it just because of Kyle.
Yes.
Correct.
You're going to see something we're like, this is because of Kyle.
So there's a few people that aren't, you know, hosts, but that are,
Right.
you know, connected with a podcast, and
Yeah.
they make a big impact as well.
They do. Like, having 4 hosts is a big deal. Like, it's a lot of work for us to, like, come up with our topics and be on and everything, and it's nice to have somebody off screen not constantly interrupting us.
That is nice. That is nice. Obviously.
We also
You
have a
know.
lineup of guests.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some noise off screen.
We also
Yeah.
have a lineup of guests.
We
coming
do.
up.
That's good.
Yep.
That's a big, exciting thing.
And we talked a little bit about that when Harrison was on.
Mhm.
Just very, very
First guest of the
briefly.
pod.
First guest
Which
of the
was-
pod. We have 2 more lined up, and some more others after that, kind of in the works, seeing what
Mhm.
What their schedules look like. And
yeah, what the
Yeah.
availability looks like. So interesting stuff.
Yeah. And if you're like, as a subscriber, if you found us on YouTube, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for, like, it's really cool. We wanted to do this with the idea that, like, we didn't really care if anybody watched. It was just for fun. But the fact that you watch is awesome. We're glad that anybody tunes in. It's really cool.
Honestly, shocking. I really had no idea we would
yeah.
have even 20 subscribers.
You know, when it's shocking, but then you go to the zoo and you see the monkeys, and
Makes
people
sense.
just sit there and
Yeah.
stare at them, and they're idiots.
We
Yeah,
do
that's a
throw
good
poop
point.
around a
We
lot.
throw
That is
poop
a good
around.
point.
A
Yeah,
lot.
right.
So we're gonna go to some infrequently asked questions that definitely real people definitely really asked.
Flooded
us.
our inbox,
on our
if you
very
will.
popular channel, they send it to our PO box, which
To our-
is listed
yeah.
below.
Yeah.
These all came in as write-in letters.
Yeah.
These are
It's
real
pretty
people.
impressive.
We did not make these questions up.
We have the best fans in the world.
We have the best fans in the
They're
world.
the most dedicated fans in the whole world.
We have the most fans.
We also
Yeah.
have the most fan in the world. It's
The
very
most
loud
fan.
and disrupted the sound of
Yes.
our recordings
Takes-
every
Takes
single
hours to edit
podcast.
out.
I'm pretty sure that our early podcast recordings didn't ever make it to air
No.
just off of
We
noise.
single-handedly stopped by that. Fan.
We pulled a
Correct.
Star Wars. The first one on our channel is episode 4.
Yeah.
What's your favorite video game series and why?
Okay.
My favorite video game series and why. I mean, like,
And they said series.
that's
so we
really
gotta-
tough. It's probably The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
It's that or Metroid.
Ooh.
I love the diverse array of experiences you can have with The Legend of Zelda, and each one feels very unique. I don't think I could be playing a Zelda game for like more than 30 seconds before I know which one it is, just based on, you know, the way it plays, not even just the things in it. So I really like that. But I'm also a big Metroid guy. I like speedrunning Metroid. I like 100%ing Metroid, but there's just so much less to choose from.
Yeah, sure.
So
The 5.
Yeah,
my
right.
favorite is the 5.
right.
Ethan, Birth Order.
So,
Thank you.
Legend of Zelda.
My favorite series is.
You speak too much,
Yeah, I
sir.
know.
You talk
One of
too
my other-
much.
You talk
Wrap
too
it.
much.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Oh my god, the pontification. It's gonna drive us crazy. Sorry.
The
hear it.
Legend of Zelda has my favorite games.
Yeah.
And this is odd to say because there's only 3 of these, but my favorite game series is Risk of Rain.
Oh,
wow.
I love Risk of
Okay.
Mm.
That's
Risk of
an interesting answer.
There's
And-
really only 2.
The reason I say
'Cause-
that, yeah, it really
Returns,
just-
yeah.
Mhm.
returns. But the reason I say Risk of Rains is because when I beat the first one, it gave me kind of an existential crisis as I read the ending,
Mhm.
like 8 words that into the
Mhm.
game for the different characters, and I go back and play it like Returns, and it still gives me an existential crisis when I beat it. And I say the same thing every time we play 2 and we get to the last scene of the flower coming up
Yeah.
on the cracked helmet. I always whisper into the microphone on Discord wherever I go, what does it mean? Every single time.
You do.
On
yeah,
top
yeah.
of that, unbelievably cool gameplay and ridiculously good music.
Yeah.
And trippy vibes. I like that each one of them vibes like a different game.
Yeah.
It is like a cool, like old TurboGrafx feel to the very first one, and then it's got a very cool like Nintendo 64 era kind of thing to the second,
Love the second.
and then the Returns feels like a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
It's dope. I just love the series.
Yeah. Risk of Rain is a good pick.
I wonder what Devin's gonna say. I wonder what this guy's gonna say.
It's
his
impossible
favorite
to
game
tell.
series
I-
is. It's
really
crazy.
tricky.
I'm a big
It's Sonic, isn't
PlayStation
it?
guy.
Yeah, it's
and
Sonic the
so
Hedgehog.
Halo is my favorite. No,
Halo, of course. The
I mean-
PlayStation classic.
because this very real person asked series, I have to say Super Mario.
No.
Did you guys know
Quentin-
that his favorite
Quentin,
game is Super
What's
Mario?
your favorite? No. Yeah.
Is that really?
Can you tell? Can you tell?
Huh.
No,
Let me tell
I.
you something. If you saw the interior of his home, it would literally look like a hotel room from the Orlando Nintendo Resort.
I thought your favorite game series was
Okay.
Doki Doki Panic.
It is, yeah.
oh,
That's where it
okay.
starts.
I got it.
That's where it starts.
That's
No,
fair.
I
The
love.
greatest Mario game.
Well, what's his favorite individual game?
I love just Mario in general. I can't think of a single Mario game that I didn't at least have fun with. And I played like Mario Teaches Typing as a kid. That's how I learned to type. That's why I'm bad at typing.
Yep, that makes sense. That
Because
tracks.
you never played
Um,
Mario Teaches Typing 2.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
Actually, that's the
right.
only one I played. I never played the original. I don't think the original
didn't make it
exists.
Oh right,
I don't think it does.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
No, yeah, I love Mario games. I think that they're like the epitome of just like where quality and creativity just sort of like collide. Because because it would be really easy to just slap Mario and things and get a cash grab. And I'm happy to say that Nintendo, at least in my opinion, has not done that. I do think that when Mario enters a series, it's because they had a good idea to put him in that series. When he entered RPGs, they were like, what if they were more interactive? When he entered sports games, it was like, what if they were more like a game where there's power-ups and, it's less focused on being real. So my favorite within that is the main line, like the first game. Like these guys had a Super Nintendo growing up, and
Sure
I
did.
held the controller upside down.
You
Because
still
I
do?
was little. I still do.
Can't figure that one out.
I liked video games.
That's why you like the Nintendo 64 controller, because upside
because
down makes
you can
more
hold it
sense.
however
Yeah.
you want.
Crazy.
It works just as
Now,
poorly.
I liked as a kid. I liked video games because they liked video games. I wasn't like doing anything. I wasn't good at them. But then Mario 64 came out, and my little kid brain just like exploded because like the world felt like it
hospitalized for
never.
months.
It was bad. No, but like that game blew me away. So like within the series, that mainline 3D Mario games are like just it's what I dream about at night, and I haven't been happy since 2017 because they won't release a new one.
It's what you dream
God.
about at night, and you're married to a wonderful woman.
Yeah,
I am.
Right?
Sorry, babe.
And
Sorry.
she is not in your dreams, but Mario
I will
is.
He's
say-
had her since set 2017 though.
Yeah, I have.
That's
yeah.
not fair.
Yeah.
That
to
is not
Mario.
fair. That's true.
That's not fair.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Well, the trouble with your question is,
Oh Lord.
I know you're trying to trick me once again, panelists. You're trying to trick me once again, person who wrote us to our P.O. box this
Definitely
question.
exists, yep.
Because there are only 2 game series that are worth playing. And the others, I'm not even sure exist.
You say the first one, I'm going to guess what the second one is.
Metal Gear Solid is the first one, which, Metal Gear Solid is because Metal Gear Solid, if you want to talk about mainline games, all right, there is not a single one that's bad. And in fact, every single one is a 10 out of 10. Don't at me. Metal Gear Solid 1, 10 out of 10. 2, 11 out of 10. 3, 10 out of 10. 4, look at that. It's another 11 out of 10 for the first 2 chapters. The next chapters, it's a 10 out of 10. All right? Metal Gear Solid 5, guess what? You think it's not a 10 out of 10? That's because it's a 4 out of 10, except it's an 11 out of 10. All right? So Metal Gear Solid is the first one. Don't have, and that's not even talking about the spin-offs, because there's so many good spin-offs, but that's a game that's all bangers. I mean, perfect, politically neutral game series that is uncontroversial.
No one's ever had
and
an
love
issue with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first one.
The second one.
What's the second one? Go ahead and see.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Obviously.
The game series.
Quentin's favorite.
My favorite.
At the
game
speed of
series which I have
sound.
played so much of, and it is the worst game series ever because it has only bad games.
Yeah.
No, the other one I was going to say is actually the Mother series. Mother, Earthbound, and Mother 3 are absolutely, they're the best.
They made a
games ever
third
made.
Mother game?
We're back. The Mother series is also one where it's only winners. And if you're playing a game other than Metal Gear Solid and Mother, I don't really know what you're doing. They both start with M's. You can't even name any others like that. There's no other game series that starts with an M that's worth playing. And there's no other game series worth playing.
Metroid?
Oh,
That's the only
Legend
one.
of Zelda?
No.
Mario?
Not worth playing.
Oh, okay.
So those are the games.
There it is.
And I also haven't played any since the last time they released a Metal Gear Solid game. So
Next question is directed towards Ty.
Oh.
This is
away from me.
This is a definitely real, from a real person
Send to our P.O. box
question.
down below.
How come?
Yes, of course it is.
How come you never shave before the podcast?
You never shave.
I never shave before the podcast. What if I told you that I shaved this morning?
We don't believe you.
Well,
Ethan did shave this morning.
I did.
Yeah.
but say
Yeah.
I actually did trim my scraggly facial hair this morning.
that electric
but
shaver ain't
I
doing the
like
job,
it.
son.
I had a guard on it. Like I'm
okay.
trying to get it to come in more evenly, and so I'm trying not to cut it all the way down when I cut it. And
Look
that's-
at you go.
That's how you do it.
Look at you go. All right. Next, totally, definitely real question for Ethan.
Why don't you shave for the podcast?
Are you a mute?
Am I a mute? Okay. So this is a kind of a fun fact. I speak in a low tone that is technically a very rare tone, like in human tonal range. It's one of the rarer ones, and it's also one of the ones that's the hardest to hear. Also, all of my brothers are uneducated ape people that speak directly over top of me.
Hey,
but especially
that's
when
not
I'm
true.
I don't think that's
not
right.
true.
I don't think that's right.
That is
It's
not
actually,
true. I have never
it's
done
actually-
that.
You're also
How
hard to
dare
look
you.
at
How
too.
could you say
How
that?
dare you.
I'm not a monkey. I'm not an ape.
And
How
they-
I'm
dare
a
you?
man.
I'm a man. I can't believe you would say that about me. Gosh.
And they often tell my jokes
Oh.
5.3 seconds before I
That
get to
was
the
such a
punchline.
good moment. The best part about that moment was that I absolutely loved that, and I lost it, and Ethan's so mad.
It's so funny.
Oh boy.
That opened it up, Burr.
I think that answered the
I think that actually answered the question.
This question is for me. Devin, why are you so amazing? Thank you, fan. Thank you, fan, for asking me that question.
That was not in our That was not.
Hey, I'm going to answer the
that was
question.
not in
Look,
our PO
guys,
box.
the reason I'm so amazing is because I have such a good co-host with me, Ty.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, Ty is the reason. No,
I'm actually gonna agree because the podcast, the episode where it's you and Ty and Michael B saying nothing, is the best podcast that you ever produced. I listened to that one and went, maybe this podcast is salvageable.
Yeah.
All right.
no, I legit think that we shine as a team. I love our dynamic.
Yeah.
That was clearly what the person meant by asking why I'm amazing. Is because look, guys, like the sun can't shine unless there's stars behind it, which isn't true.
So
I don't think
But-
that's actually how that
True.
works.
But it's true what I think. No, for real though, I'm just gonna take my question as a chance to say how much I love being on the pod with these guys, how much fun it is to be on the pod with these guys, because it is. I mean, there are days when it's not as much fun with the left side of the podcast, but it's always fun.
I think I should answer that question. Actually, I don't know why.
No, that wasn't for you. It was directed at me.
Towards you. I mean,
that real person
'cause I
directed
feel
that
like,
question at me.
Because I feel like the answer to why is Devin so amazing, all right, is because he provides a comedic foil for me to bounce my jokes off of.
I do
and
that.
To be clear,
I
is
do
the only
do
reason
that.
anybody's watching this thing.
That's true.
Also,
Alright,
Rachel
true.
does most of the work to make you look good.
She does,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
That's a good point.
I am.
That's a good
I am
point.
supported by my
different
Italian.
Me and
wife.
Devin are the only ones who have our clothes, any kind of fashion direction, and it's because Devin is married, and it's because of a different reason for me. So
I wonder what that is.
I don't know. Now, what's my question?
Okay, so Quentin, let's go to Quentin's question. Define ipter-dupted.
Okay, so my question is define ipter-dupted. So ipter-dupted is sort of like when your doctor is doing an examination of like your arm, right? Let's say he's checking your arm, a dermatologist, to be specific. He's checking your arm because you have kind of an unusual spot. And while he's talking about it, he says, it's just called a coffee stain spot. It's totally normal. It doesn't belong, in any kind of risk factor group here. And then he ipter-dupes it because guess what? He checks your prostate. He checks your prostate. He touches your loins, that area, and you say, what's going on there? And he says, you got ipter-dupted, right? Here's the thing that's amazing about this, right? Function in this hypothetical was restored. And so one could say that it was a positive because function was restored. It was like a medical, miracle, right? It was like
miracle.
it was like
Because it shouldn't have worked, and it did.
because it shouldn't have worked, but it did.
Right.
But I didn't ask for that.
Oh.
I didn't ask for function to be restored, right?
Right.
And so even though one could say, oh man, it was a trick, and even though it accomplished the effect, and the effect was a big deal,
Right.
I got, not I, but someone in that scenario got ipter-duped by that dermatologist in 2017.
That oddly, it kind of explained it to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually
yeah,
think I understand what
in
ipter-dupted
In
means.
2017, I was ipter-duped. In this hypothetical scenario.
He doesn't even know what the word is,
So,
much less the definition.
But that's kind of the idea of getting ipter-duped.
Guys, that was infrequently asked questions. Thank you guys, you real people, for your real questions.
Write us at our PO
Next
box if
time
you
we
got
want we want fake people to ask us questions.
We're just going to
which is
generate
you, the
questions
viewers.
using
Yes.
ChatGPT.
You, the
like I
viewers,
generate
ask
all
us
my
questions.
friends.
You, the viewers, ask us questions and send it to our PO box. But more importantly, subscribe to our Patreon because that's the only
exist
reason
yet.
I'm here.
It
It's the only reason I'm
doesn't
here.
exist
is
And
that Devin said Patreon.
tune in next time when we ask Michael B how to talk to girls, and we ask Kyle
Yeah.
how to achieve Zen.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's
Things
a
that
good
they're
idea.
experts on.
Which spoon?
That
spoon?
Just kind of uncomfortably.
What's that Shaq Fortnite skin doing?
Which?
How's it going?
I wasted $35 on the Fortnite skin of Shaq.
I mean, that's how they get you.
That is how the Shaquille
Yeah,
O'Neal.
Shaq has a skin.
I
No.
don't think I am politically educated enough to answer this question
My character in
without getting doxxed.
my character in Fallout New Vegas is black.